what's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome to another hot topic on He Say, She Say with your girl, CoCo J.
And your boy, the Hood, Howard Stern, Q Lewis, holding it down from the D to the other D in the Rocky Mountains. You already know what it is.
Yes, we do.
For sure. Hey, I want to welcome y'all again for real for another episode of He Say, She Say. Don't forget it's Social Media Friday, so if you got social media, make sure you check us out on Twitter and Instagram. So hit up my girl right here. Hey, it's CoCo J and myself, Hood Howard Stern. That's at Twitter and Instagram. All right, so make sure you check us both out. Also, if you're on Facebook, you can actually like the fan page. It's www.facebook.com/He Say, She Say. All right, real simple. Hit that like button. But it's Friday. It's been a long weekend. It's Happy Friday, as CoCo J always reminds us. So what's been going on with you, baby? What's been popping with you since last week?
What's been popping with me since last week? I've been chilling. And you know, when I say that, I really haven't been chilling, but I'm just going to say I've been chilling.
That ain't no fair, though. Like, that ain't no fair. It's not fair that you get to be doing stuff and don't say nothing about it. It's not fair. But
actually, let me see. Nothing really. Actually, and I'm for real when I say that.
Okay.
Of course, I've been working on a little something. Like I said last week on the show, I'm not going to actually put it out there as of right now because it's still unfolding. But you know, the kids, for summer vacation for the kids, and let me see, what's been going on since last week? What happened since last week? I can't really say. Chilling. Yeah. I'm just gonna stick with chilling.
Gonna stick with that. Oh,
I'm just gonna stick with chilling.
I guess I ain't gonna harass you, man. That's fine.
Okay, I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, but you did mention that is school. You know, school is out. Of course, it's summer vacation time. As a parent, man, what you because I know last week we talked about the Riverwalk, things of that nature. But what types of things do you think are fun? You know, for the summer that you can do with the kids that don't cost nothing. I mean, I got a couple ideas myself.
That don't cost anything?
Yeah, don't cost. Well, I ain't gonna say cost anything, but don't
cost.
Much.
It's not as expensive.
Yeah, let's say that. Yeah.
Well, I think as a parent, I think we need to get our kids more outdoors because, of course, they will. My kids, I'm only gonna speak for my kids. They will get stuck in a house and get stuck on Netflix or on the game or computer or something. So
right.
In the summertime, I think it's just good to get out. They even may like by the water or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
What else? The museum or something. It don't necessarily have to be nothing, no learning activities, which is good though, but I'm just saying not all the time. It don't have to be a learning experience, but even going for a walk is a learning experience. They experience nature.
Right, that's true.
So, I mean, it's just to get out the house. It don't matter. Sometimes, like in Southfield, every second Thursday, they have it's something similar to an Arts and Beats Festival. Okay. They have on Civic Center Drive, but it's like different vendors, food vendors, and then they have fun activities for the whole family that can participate. The admission is free. I do believe you have to, pay for the vendors such as the food and things like that. But, the admission is free. The parking is free. So every second Thursday in Southfield at Civic Center, they have something going on for the entire family. And I just actually look it up, Google, free things in Michigan for just that particular weekend that you may be looking to do.
Right. Too, just real quick, I know that we got listeners like all over the place. So I know you mentioned Arts, Beats, and Eats Festival earlier. So just for people who are outside of Michigan, what it is actually a festival where it's actually arts, beats, and eats. So you got food, and then you got music, and then you got people vending off their art. So it's kind of it's a festival for the arts, really. I mean, music, music and the arts, of course, and then you got the food involved. So for people outside Michigan who weren't familiar with that, they moved it from. It used to be in Pontiac. Now, see, this was back in the day, way back in the day when it was in Pontiac. I had actually been to the one in Pontiac because I was out there working. I went a couple of years. And it's a nice little, it's a nice event. You get to actually see some really good art. You know what I'm saying? And the food is normally great. I don't know how it's been since they moved it to where did they move it to?
It's in
Royal Oak. Royal Oak, yeah. Since they moved it to Royal Oak. So I've
never been.
Yeah, it's a real street festival.
Even the one that was in Pontiac. Yeah, I've never been. I've heard, and some of my family members went, but I've never been. Of course, they always, when it's around that time, they always show it on the news and things of that nature, but I've never been myself.
Yeah, they always bring out the best food, I tell you that much.
Yeah, I heard it's real cool, though, so I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, definitely something to go to. I know that, I'm not sure, is it still free? Because I believe they're charging now, if I'm not mistaken.
That I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Or if they're not charging, then you do have to pay for like the meal ticket kind of thing to eat the food type of thing. But those are all vendors.
Most definitely that.
Yeah, so those are all vendors. So yeah, things like that. And like you said, Google is everybody's best friend. If you're looking for something, inexpensive to do for the summer, if you're not trying to break the bank and go to Disney World or Cedar Point every weekend,
right.
Definitely want to check out some things. And just being outside is the key. And I don't think we can stress that enough, only because the generation that's underneath us, for some reason, has just lost all aspirations to go outside the door.
Yeah, I mean, like, and that's crazy, but it needs to be done. Even within my household, because they're missing out on a lot of things. Just being, in the house, I'm like, okay, y'all, it's just so much of things to experience outside those doors. And I'm not just saying, I'm talking nature-wise. You know what I'm saying? Just to see different things, different whatever.
Right.
So it's most definitely something that should be done.
And most importantly, though, nature-wise, you learn how different levels of grass cutting, bush trimming.
And that's for the grown people right there. These kids ain't thinking about all that.
Right, but they need to be. When we was kids, we had to think about all that. That's the problem, man. I think kids is getting off easy, man. Too many adults. There's too many adults in neighborhoods cutting grass.
I will have to say.
Understood.
Yeah, that's true. But it's still, I still see some young people still knock on. They knock on my doors. Mm-hmm. Some young boys wanted to cut grass.
Right.
And but what was I about to say? Jesus, I don't lost my train of thought.
The young kids going door to door to cut grass.
No, I was gonna say something before then, but anyway, I get back to it when it comes to mind. But anyway, it's still some young men that comes to my house and in the neighborhood that knocks on the door and asks if they can cut the grass. It be one. Sometimes it be one, sometimes it be two. No more than two. I've never seen no more than two because I guess they don't want to split the money up in too many ways.
Oh yeah. And I understand. I can understand.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah. I was gonna mention. My son, my youngest, 9 years old, Jordan, he asked if we can do a garden. And I'm like, a garden? And I thought,
that's something we had talked about before, right?
Yeah, that's something we had talked about. And I'm like, a garden? But I'm saying it to myself. I didn't say it out loud, but I'm like, a garden? I'm like, he was like, Mama, do you know how to do a garden? I said, I really don't. He was like, Mama, you can do a garden.
You can learn together, right?
Yeah, so I'm like, you know what? That's a good idea. So I'm still contemplating on when I'm gonna start, and of course I have to Google.
Now the thing about out there, especially in suburban areas, is keeping the rodents. It's keeping the rodents and shit away.
But I'm sure it's something that will keep them away. I mean, not to kill them, but just to keep them away. Right. I don't want to kill them.
But then that should be getting into your garden and stuff, though. So it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to do, especially when you deal with y'all got rabbits and raccoons. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And see, I don't have a green thumb, so the minute something go wrong, I just be like, you know what? We tried. That is it.
It's most definitely gonna go wrong because of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you damn near got to stand outside all night next to the garden and get it popping.
Yeah, but you know what? I said we might give it a shot. Like I said, I don't have a green thumb. I do have a few aunties that do, and I might can get some pointers and suggestions from them. So once we do it, I will be blowing their phone up like, so how did you and how should I do this and what's up with it? So I'm definitely gonna be making calls when I do decide to do it. I don't even know where in my backyard because anyway. But that's a thought. We might
probably back there where the shed was. I mean, since it appears that there's never going to be one to replace the old shed, so perhaps maybe in that area.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Or right there at the end of the driveway, or at the beginning part of the driveway. It's a tough thing though because of the critters out there, man. It's a tough call. I don't know how you would be able to get away with it. Obviously, it's stuff that you can do and put down to try to keep them away. But how effective is it, and how is it going to affect your actual crop? Like this, it's a tough thing to deal with.
Yeah, I can get it like a high wire fence, like them little fences you can put around. I've seen on TV. Anyway. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I said, I'll figure something. We'll figure something out. But he definitely want to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look more into it.
Come outside in the morning and have a few raccoons hanging from a barbed wire. Yeah, that's probably not good.
Hey, you know what? At this point, I don't even care about a raccoon. My fear is as long as I don't come in the backyard and see another deer in my backyard, I'm good. As long as it's not a deer, I'm fine.
Yeah, because I know what you do to people when you see deer in the backyard. So anyway, we won't get into it. Well, yes, we will. We will get into that. So, for people out there listening, real quick, I just got a small story to tell.
No, I'm not even talking about that story. I'm talking about another story. You didn't really have to go off into that.
Well, I'm talking about, what story are you talking about?
I was talking about when I actually came outside.
Yeah, nobody cared about that deer being back there. I'm talking about the time that it was a deer in the backyard and you tried to sacrifice me to the deer. That's what I'm talking about. Like, we both seen the deer, so I'm like, all right, hold on. That's a deer. So we don't want to scare the deer because I think they stand still. I think when they know they're being watched or something.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I didn't want it to get scared and rush us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, because this is a big ass deer, and I ain't no little dude, but it's an animal. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to back away and slowly retreat to the inside. Slowly retreat. Keeping my eyes on the deer, make sure that it didn't, haul ass and rush us or something. But CoCo J decides that she go turn and run and close the door before I can get in the house.
I did not close the door. I did not close that door.
I was almost victim to what you call it, a human sacrifice, man. I was human sacrifice, man. I just wanted to tell that story.
The wind blew that door closed.
So you do admit that you were ahead of me and the door closed, right?
I ran, most definitely, but I didn't close the door. I did not close the door.
Even after I told you don't run.
It was my first reaction. Yeah. So that's what happened.
Yeah. Survival mode, human sacrifice.
Whatever. I did not close that door. The wind blew it closed.
If that deer had attacked me out there, we wouldn't be having this radio show
Man,
today.
that deer was more scared than you was, than I was.
know, and scary animals charge at their victims.
Well, I charge for the door.
The same reason that skunks spray that shit. They do that when they're in fear. They don't. That's not an attack. That's defense. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you good though, right? You was good though, right? You followed right behind me. I don't know if you skipped or jumped or ran too, but I know you was behind me.
I walked slowly.
Yeah, right.
I didn't want that big ass deer to put them antlers on me and shit. Hey, this some big ass antlers like trees or something. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, thank you, CoCo J, for nearly human sacrificing me. I'll never forget that.
Oh, no problem, babe.
Anyway, so enough about antlers and deer. Take your kids somewhere for the summer, even if it's just outside around the block. Go swimming, do some outside stuff. Try to make it a little fun, because I know when school come back around, kids hate school. Parents love school though, because they don't have to deal with their kids all day.
But that's not true. That's not all. That's not all the way true for all the parents. But you know what? There is something. There is something that I also wanted to share. I'm trying to find it now as we speak. I received this email the other day, and I'm really not sure how to pronounce the name, but it's Andiomi. It's like a center. It's on 8 Mile.
I was about to say Andiamo.
No.
I know.
Andiomi. But it's like a center. Hold on, I'm getting it. So, but it's for middle schoolers and it's for high schoolers.
Okay.
But they have this junior achievement camp.
Okay.
And it's gonna I'm sorry, I should have had it up. It's gonna teach the young men and women, whoever decide to send, if you want to send your children there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh Lord. I'm gonna share it at the end because I can't find it right now.
Can't get everything.
But it's definitely something that they need to know. They teach you about financial. They teach you about budgeting, like bank accounts and all that stuff. So I'm going to share more. I'm going to get the information out when before the show ends. As soon as I find it. But so I just remind me, Hood, how it's done to do.
All right, it sounds interesting though.
Yeah, it is. I've called. I've been called, and I'm still waiting for that call. But that's a whole different story. But I'm still gonna share. I'm still gonna share the information though. So yeah, before the show is over, I'll definitely be giving you that information.
I'll give you a second to get that together sometime before the end. Just before we jump off into our topic though, if you have been checking us out on Twitter and Instagram, then you gotta know what we're talking about today. Of course, it's a relationship topic because it's a relationship show. But we want to know what are the elements that love is built on. So what I mean by that is basically, how do you define love and what things go into that? You know what I'm saying? So we want to know. If you're on eblockradio.com right now, you can hit us up, 760-283-4647, and hit that number 1 key to comment. But also, too, before we get off into the topic and all that, I do want to also mention that you can catch the rebroadcast of He Say, She Say on www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. All right, you can actually check that replay out there as well. So we're not only on eblockradio.com anymore. We branching out. You feel me? We everywhere out here. And then I'll give you an update on the times that is rebroadcast during the week in just a moment here. But before we jump off into the topic, though, one thing I just got to say, because I posted this on my Facebook page, and it looks like countless other people as well. But Stacey Dash, man, first of all, I'm not certain exactly what to say about Stacey Dash, to be honest. But here's the thing. All right, so Justin Williams, the dude from the BET award show, also plays, I believe, a doctor on Grey's Anatomy. Anyway, he did a hell of a speech on, about the Black Lives Matter movement and all that stuff, right? And actually, that's something that she mentioned in her little article too, saying that, what did she call it? I should have had it up. She called it like a anyway, she took a shot at the Black Lives Matter movement too, all in this little article that she wrote. But basically, what she was saying was that his speech is indicative of why she believes BET is a racist broadcast network. So I guess I can't understand. I don't really know how you can be black and somebody is pointing out oppression and you call that racism. I mean, can you explain that? CoCo, can you explain that?
I really can. I wish I could, but no, right. I can't. I don't know where she's coming from at all. So
right. I don't know. Now the thing about Stacey Dash is that this ain't nothing new. So she's been kind of like blasting BET and the Black Lives Matters movement for a little while now. So it ain't nothing new. But I guess it just keeps surprising me how she keeps just adding to it. Maybe that's what it is. Because I guess I can't be surprised that she says something like that, because this is this is how she get down. This right. is what she does. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I can't really be surprised. But at the same time, it do kind of upset me, though. I can't lie. And I guess it shouldn't, because, I mean, it's black people cooning every day. Like, why should I be mad that she cooning and, that type of thing. And,
yeah.
But it's still upsetting, though. I don't know what to say about it. If you haven't seen what I'm talking about, make sure that you check out the E-Block Radio Facebook page, and you can actually see. I reposted it there. You can actually see the article in its entirety, so you can see what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotta watch it. I haven't seen it. I mean, I gotta read it rather.
Right. So you check that out, and also if you haven't seen the actual speech that he gave either, you might want to check that out as well. Very enlightening. It is moving. It will get you moving in the right direction. Which I think is the whole purpose. I can't say that it's, how does she put it? It's an attack on white people. That's what she said. So it is an attack on white people. I don't know how.
No, that's just being aware of what's going on in the black community, and I guess she's so stuck. Like I said, I haven't seen or read the article what you're referring to when it comes to Stacey Dash.
Right.
I don't even think I want to read it. But just
you almost gotta read it though.
No, but I'm just
You almost gotta read it just to feel that's crazy.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't know. She is black. The color of her skin is anyway.
Theoretically.
But I don't know where she's coming from. I don't know what type of environment or what kind of household she grew up in, friends she deal with or whatever. But I don't, like I stated earlier, she might be trying to get some type of attention, whether it's positive or negative attention, because she fell off and now she's just trying to get some attention drawn to her. I don't know. It's if that is the case, she's drawn some real negative attention towards herself. And when she
I don't think she cares either.
Yeah, and I obviously she doesn't care. Right. But one day hopefully she'll some will change, but
something to click on.
Yeah, hopefully if her friends is her real friends. I'm just saying. But anyway.
That's crazy. Shout out to my man Jesse Williams though. Definitely not the first I've heard of him. I think this is the first time I've seen him, or actually seen something that he said. Now, he's always been speaking out, so this is nothing new.
Yeah, because they've been showing clips of what he's been doing that.
Yeah, he's been doing that.
It's nothing new. He had that platform that night, and he did it. And I don't
think it's a great platform, right?
Exactly.
It's a great platform to do it. So shout out to my man Jesse Williams, though, definitely doing his thing. So keep doing your thing. It's just weird that whenever you speak out about oppression, that somebody from your same circle can claim that to be racism. I just don't get it, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. But anyway, so enough about that, man. We won't spend too much time on Stacey Dash, man. We just give her a Coon Award and keep it moving. But if you just now checking this out, man, you gotta know what we're talking about today. All right, we're talking about the elements that love is built on. All right, we want to know what are those elements. Now, I think for different people, it's gonna be different elements. I believe. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe there's a core, perhaps not. But we're going to check it out in just a moment. So if you're on eblockradio.com right now, you can hit us up, 760-283-4647, and hit that number 1 key. I actually got a comment that someone left on our Facebook page as well. I think I'll be reading that on the air in just a moment. But we're going to shoot to a commercial break for just a second. We'll be back in about 2 minutes, man. Shout out to Black Tie Photography.
Witness the Black Tie experience. Black Tie Photography, servicing all of Metro Atlanta area. My name is Cedric Pitts, your photographer. Check out our website at www.blacktiepictures.com or like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Black Tie Pictures. Let me capture your professionalism in class, and you will have the ultimate black tie experience.
Yo, it's your boy, the Hood Howard Stern, Q Lewis, producer of the Live is Cloud radio show on the planet, straight from the E Block Radio. Here to let you know that you can represent the radio show and your side of town with our very own t-shirt line, Pardon My East Side. You can get yours.
Hello, Hood Howard Stern. What's up with Pardon My West Side?
Oh, slow down, Miss CoCo J. Of course, we got the West Side covered too, so you can get Pardon My East Side or Pardon My West Side t-shirts. Only thing you got to do is go to the website, www.eblockradio.com, and get yours today. $20 for the fellas, $15 for the ladies. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram as well, Pardon My Eastside. What's up, y'all? We back in the building, man, for the hottest relationship show on the web right now, man. He say, she say. I got my girl. Hey, it's CoCo J.
What's up?
Holding it down, man. What's happening, baby? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. All right, and of course you got your man, Hood Howard Stern, holding it down from the D to the other D in the Rocky Mountains. Definitely doing our thing. If you're just now checking it in, man, you got to hit us up 760-283-4647 and hit that number one key so you can comment on tonight's hot topic. So tonight we want to know, what are the elements that love is built on? Not love, but love.
Alrighty then.
Like the love doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So CoCo J, what's them elements? What's them elements?
Well, I'm only gonna speak from my point of view. What those elements are built off of. I would have to say honesty, trust, communication, and just you gotta be when you in love, you gotta be ready to be in love, because love is not perfect. We're not perfect. So love is not perfect. So you're gonna run into some issues. Whoever you say you in love with, y'all gonna have. Everyone have flaws. So if you're ready, to see what those flaws are. If flaws are, and if you don't like those flaws, but you're willing to work it out and talk it out or whatever, then that's good. That's all good. So I would have to say patience, honesty, and trust, I believe, is and y'all have
honesty, and trust.
Yeah, y'all got to vibe with one another. Y'all have to be on the same page with one another. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So those are in my case, those are the elements, because you can't have one and not have the other, because you can have the communication, but what's the point of having the communication if you don't have the honesty and you trust in that person? But the number one thing is communication. I have always said that, and I'm going to continue to always say that. That is very important when it comes to relationships, communication. You can communicate anything, even if it's bad or good. As long as that door to communication stays open and y'all keep it open, then whether y'all be together or decide not to be together, all that shit has to be communicated. So communication is definitely the key when it comes to love. Now, to keep it going, because you can say you're in love real easy, but to keep the love flowing and going throughout the relationship, that's definitely, all those things definitely have to continue. I'm not gonna say it's a job, but you have to continue. No, you have to just continue to put forth those efforts to keep the relationship going. Because you have to just keep you have to work on it to stay in love. You know, does that make sense?
No, I understand.
You have to work towards it. You just can't say, okay, well, I got this person, so I don't have to do what I did in the beginning of the relationship because I got him or her now. So I'm just gonna chill for a minute. No, that's not how it works. Keep doing what you're doing. You got to keep going. It has to keep going. Like seriously, and it may even get at times. You may come into some situations to where y'all can't stand one another. But if you're willing to work through it, then go for it. But it all is based on communication. Well, like I said, my opinion, the very important thing is communication. Then after that, trust. You have to trust that person, because if you don't trust that person, then you're gonna be coming up with assumptions and all that kind of stuff. But if you do come up with any kind of assumptions doing this, I feel this way about this or that or whatever. But most definitely, to keep love going in that relationship, communication, love, honesty. Because without those, then it's doomed. So, and like you stated earlier, people have different views of what the elements of love is. Because if you don't come from a loving home, or even if you come from a messed up environment and you decide you want to do differently, you go a different route. You know what I'm saying? But some people think love is something else. Abusive, like, for example, domestic violence or such, or verbal abuse, or things of that nature. Some people think that is love because from what they learned, what their environment is. So people have different perspectives of what love is. But that's mine, and I had to learn that because I didn't come from a perfect family. As I've gotten older, as I became an adult and had children of my own, we all have to learn at some point in life what love is. And some people may get it right, some people may not get it right. But eventually, you're gonna figure it. You're gonna figure it out because you especially when you get tired of getting your ass beat or something. If you're one of those people that's tired of getting their butt beat, and you thinking it's love and it's not, then you like I say, eventually we all figure it out. Eventually, you may be 60 figuring it out, but eventually you will figure out what love is. Eventually,
right.
So.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
Exactly. I hope so.
Really, Some people go their whole lives without really, truly understanding. But at the same time, it's kind of difficult to gauge somebody's understanding of it when it can mean different things to different people.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like you said about abusive relationships, it's some people, not just women, but it's some people in general in relationships that feel as though if there isn't any anger or sometimes physical confrontation, then that person isn't in love with you. And that could possibly be from either past experiences or things that you've seen your own parents or a parent and a boyfriend or girlfriend or go through in that manner. So it's kind of tough to tell. That's why I figured that everybody elements would be a little bit different. Now it's funny though, and I just have to say I know that it's not a really major thing, I guess, but you didn't mention anything physical though about love. You didn't mention anything physical. So like sexual compatibility don't have nothing to do with being in love.
I figure the three main points, because once you have the communication, the honesty, and the trust, that automatically is just going to draw to. It's going to. Because no, honestly, well, listen out. Because with me, okay, so I can't speak from everyone else. I'm only speaking for myself. So when I have the communication, when I have the love, and I have the trust and the honesty and all that stuff, sexual attraction, like dang, it's the sexual compatibility. So
sexual attraction don't have nothing to do with the actual sexual performance.
So do you think love is based on just sex?
No, but you didn't even include it. You didn't even
because I don't
it.
play a major role when it comes to love to me. Now, don't get me wrong.
So you would love somebody who is deficient in sex.
You see, that's where communication come in. You communicate that, what you want and what you don't like and what you need and all this kind of stuff when it comes to that department as far as sexual wise.
So it is a part of it, right?
It is. I never said it wasn't. I didn't mention it because it's important, but it's not as important as those three that I've mentioned.
I mean, there's a lot of things that's important, not as important. I asked you, what are the elements? So when you say those three things, that means nothing else exists.
No, I didn't know. That's not what that means. That's. I'm just saying what's important to me to keep the love going. That is important. Now, sex is important.
Let me just put it
out there. Sex is important, but that is not the most important thing when it comes to love in a relationship.
So what's the most important thing? Communication. That's your. You sticking with that? That's your most important thing.
Let's see. I said sex. Damn.
But you said communication was the most.
Yeah, I think communication is the most.
Right. I was just clarifying that. You already answered the question. I was just clarifying
communication. Yep, communication. You don't have anything. You have to. Your relationship continue to flow through communication. What your needs, your wants, your likes, your don't likes, your everything. So you have to communicate that, whether that person wants to hear it or not, whether you may think you may hurt that person's feelings or whether it's positive or negative. You have to communicate that because that's the only way y'all will get through what y'all going through if y'all willing to work it out. If y'all not willing to work it out, y'all still got to communicate this shit like, look, I've had enough. I ain't doing it no more. This is it. Communication is so important, and like I've told you, I've been saying that since the time we've been doing this show. As far as when it comes to relationships, communication. Don't be scared to communicate it. Whatever it is, whatever on your heart, your mind, how you feel about something, whether it's good or bad, communicate that so you can try to let your partner know or try to get them to understand where you're coming from. Even if you can't get them to understand where you're coming from, you're still opening up the door for communication. Right. You have to communicate it. So yeah, that's the most important thing in relationships, communication.
Okay.
And then that just open up doors for everything else that's going on in a relationship that's wrong or good.
Okay. I know. I guess. I was looking at the question. I guess maybe I'm thinking about it a little too deep. I guess, and I think you mentioned this earlier that I think too much. But no,
too hard. Too hard.
Too hard. Okay, whatever.
Too hard.
I think I look at this totally different because I figure the elements that love is built on. All right, I look at it a totally different way. I look at it as far as a team effort. I see it as something totally different because and let me explain what I'm saying. As far as love, because it's between two people, right?
Right.
I didn't even use terms like you use in defining this, and that's why at this point I'm a little nervous. That's why sometimes I hate when you go first, because then I think what I be saying it don't make sense. It's like I did something wrong on the test. But so for me, I feel like even with those things, communication, trust, and honesty, right? Even if you look at those three things, even if they don't exist, there are still people that love each other with the non-existence of that. So
how?
It happens. It's a lot of bad. There's a lot of toxic relationships, but people are in love in those relationships, and it's all bad though. Like it happens.
Yeah.
Just like people getting beat up in their relationships, but they love that person.
If you focus on thinking you about to change somebody or trying to change somebody, yeah. So yeah, that's totally different. You have the idea of I can change him or I can change her.
So my thing is this. By your standards.
Yeah, by my standards.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, by your standards. Exactly. So everybody's standards could be different. But my thing, though, for the elements that, that love is built on, is pretty much identified by your needs. All right. So what I mean by that is that a person who needs guidance or needs like authority or some type of direction need different things in order for love to build upon that. So what I mean by that is like how it's some women who need direction. Like and some dudes too. Like some dudes need direction, some women need direction. So they look for a partner in which can give them that direction, and for them that equals love, right? So what I'm saying is that the things that love is built on is solely dependent upon what that individual person needs in order to complete themselves.
To complete.
You get what I'm saying?
I feel you. I hear you.
Yeah, cause I mean that's the real purpose of love. Just like even with just not even a romantic situation, but let's say a parent and a kid. The love is built off of, huh?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The love is built off of the needs of each individual in that relationship, and that's how we determine what's love. So
yeah,
I can't put words to that. It's gonna be solely dependent upon.
But like when you become a certain age, like a grown person over 30. Should you be looking for, say, for example, if you didn't have that the mother, father figure in your life, should you be looking for that in your relationship? Because that's what it sounds like. Like you saying, they looking for that someone to guide them in our direction. Like
I just use that as an example. Anything in a relationship, anything that you need, and you look for that is what's going to constitute as love for you. Like for instance,
that's true. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So if
it might be love to them, but it's not.
Right.
It's not really love, but it's to them it is because that's the void in their life. Is that what you think?
Exactly, and that's basically what love is. Because nothing.
That's not what love is. That's what people assume it to be. That's not what it really is.
Yes, it is.
But no. Well, you know what?
Yes, it is. There's no way around that. The only unconditional love you get is from Jesus. That's the only love that comes without conditions.
When it comes to unconditional love, that is true. Only God can give us that. Only God gives us that.
So because love comes with conditions, then what I just said is true.
But that don't mean that is what love is. I'm just saying that's just their perspective of what love is. That's what I'm saying. Just because that's our perspective, that don't mean that's what it is for sure.
Let me ask you something. You said the three. We're just gonna use those three, right?
Okay.
Honesty, trust, and communication, right? Mm-hmm. Those are things that you need, right?
Those are things that should just happen throughout the relationship, period.
I'm asking you. But without those three things, you can't consider love, right?
I mean, if you love someone, that is what you're going to, that is what should be.
I'm asking you
that is
specifically.
Something. Yeah, that's okay. Three of those things, yes.
Three of those things, right?
Yeah.
Right, because those are three things that you need. And those three things depend on those three things create love for you.
Those things is what makes me fall in love with you because you're willing to do that. You're willing to be honest. You're willing to be faithful. You're willing to communicate with me.
You're saying the same thing.
But I'm just okay. We are saying the same thing when it comes to that. But what I'm disagreeing on is, as far as I don't want you to be my daddy. I don't want you to act like you're my daddy. Because now, like I said, some people.
I should never start off with that scenario.
Some people are looking for that because I won't go into it because some young women are looking for that because that's what they're missing. They don't have they didn't grow up with their dad, so they go out there and they search for that kind of father-like figure and but want them to be their man, but and then they say they in love, but it's not love. It's just something, a void that you're missing, that father figure void that person is missing. Or when it comes to a dude, now he was brought up by his grandmother or something, and he's out there searching for the mother figure that he never had, or something like that. So that's not we're gonna agree when we say everyone has their different definition of what love is to them, and that's the way they may find it, because they're missing something out. They have that big void because they didn't have that parent in their life like that. So. But that's not what love is based on. Love is not based on that because you're missing something.
Like I said, I started off using that scenario, and I think somehow you just got stuck to that like glue. So
I listen to stuff and I run with it. So
the whole concept though is that love is going to be dependent on what you need in your life.
That's true. I agree.
Right.
Everybody's perspective of what love is we're going to be on different, it's different levels.
All right. So what I need, what I think is the basis though is like I mentioned, sexual compatibility. I think that's important.
Number one.
We're not ranking. We're just giving elements. We're not ranking. So I don't want you to do a whole another hour show on what I'm saying.
I'm just saying. You just said that would be okay. Go ahead.
And companionship. I think those are the things that create love. Like even before communication, because you don't even have a chance to fully or maybe communication may fall in hand with companionship. I don't know.
Yeah, of course. Communication falls in line with everything. Everything.
But as far as love, I think those are the things. I think the trust is what comes out of that. So I can't even put that in there at first.
Communication comes out of trust? No, trust comes out of communication.
That's what I said.
Okay. I was just trying to make sure.
No, that's what I said.
Right? Okay.
That's what I said. So anyway, that's why I said I won't even put that in there. I just really say those two things is basically what builds love.
Compatibility and
companionship.
Okay.
Sexual compatibility and companionship, yes.
Those are the only two things?
Everything else comes out of that. What else are you going to have with somebody that you fall in love with?
I mean, you don't have to, when it comes to compatibility, you just because you have sex don't mean you love this person. You can just be having sex, just be fucking having sex.
Okay.
So I mean that's important, but that's not one of the key elements.
You can be just communicating just to communicate. You got to be.
No, you can communicate about the relationship. You communicate about everything that's attached to the relationship. Everything. But with sexual compatibility, you don't have to be in love to have the sexual compatibility. You can just sex good between y'all two, and that's it. And y'all leave it at that.
If there isn't any sexual compatibility, then one will start thinking that the other is not in love with them.
No, I'm saying the sex can be. It's important to have sexual compatibility.
Comment on what I said first.
But for you to say that sexual compatibility and what else?
Companionship.
Companionship. So, what's companionship in your definition?
Companionship to me is the person that you are friends with, a friend, that you share in moments, you share in ideas, you're supportive of one another. That's companionship. You do things together. That's companionship.
You do things together. That's companionship.
Yeah.
Or just knowing one another, just period.
That don't have nothing to do with companionship.
So I'm saying, companionship and sexual compatibility doesn't fall on the same page at all?
No, not really.
No, not really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Because companionship not based on... Huh?
Companionship can kind of be based on just sexual compatibility, because companionship in my eyes, I take it as y'all communicate with one another. It's y'all just communicating with one another. Y'all talking with one another. That's companionship. Y'all kicking it. Y'all whatever. But I mean, y'all definitely. I mean, when in a relationship, you definitely have to have that friendship. To me, but when it comes to sexual compatibility, that kind of, to me, I don't know. That still kind of fall.
You know what?
In a
for whatever reason, I guess today you are totally exempt on the idea that sex has anything to do with love. So that's fine. That's cool. Cause for some reason that is really bugging you today. So I don't know why. But
for some reason, what?
That's really bugging you today. I don't know why. That I say that sex has something to do with love. Like there's a problem there for some reason.
No, I didn't. I'm not saying that sex don't have anything to do with love. All I'm saying is that it's not the most important. It's important to the relationship, but it's not the most important to the relationship. Because
a relationship
can hang on. A relationship can hang on to just everything can just be damaged to your relationship. But then y'all have this good sex, but what is that gonna do? I mean, eventually that's gonna die down, the good sex, if y'all don't have anything else. So like I said, that plays a part that plays an important role in it, but that's not one of the top three, not to me. I don't think so. I mean, unless that's just a hit and quit type of situation, yeah. But I'm talking about for the long-term relationships. If y'all want this to work out and y'all talking about getting married, or even if y'all married, more to it. So that's all I'm saying.
I hear you, but let me ask you this, and then we go get off there because it's about that time to go. But if sex is not in that top tier of reasons why, or
you said top
tier. Top tier. Of the building blocks of love, then why is it such a struggle to not have sex before you marry a person? If love is not nowhere up there considering love.
Well, you know what?
Why is it that people are so worried that they love this person that they about to marry, but they worried about not having sex with them?
You know what?
Why do you think that's so if it's not important?
Okay. A lot of people can answer that in so many different ways because it's important to some and it's not important to a lot of people. If they trying to walk that walk as far as in Christ or something like that. So it's really important to some and it's not important to a lot of people. So they make it out of a big deal because they want to make it out of a big deal because they just want to have sex. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like I said, a lot of people answer that in so many different ways because, but for the most part, I believe it's not because if you're making that out of a big deal, you gotta have sex. I mean, that's just what they want, but that's not really, you know what I'm saying? That's not what's gonna make the relationship work. That's not what's gonna make the relationship last. Now, that's what you want, but that's not something that's just going to make it work and last. I'm just saying. So, you laughing, but I'm so serious.
Before we get out of here, man, you got like 2 minutes to call in if you got a last second comment, 760-283-4647, and hit that number 1 key. But on our way out of here, man, we just gonna go around one more time. So, CoCo J, give us those elements again.
The elements, I think the 3 key elements, my 3 key elements of love is communication, being honest, and trusting one another. And then everything else falls up under those 3. Because especially without communication, you can't continue, the love can't continue. You can't continue to fall in love with one another if y'all cannot communicate what's going on within our relationship, whether if it have anything to do with you not trusting that person or you not being honest with that person or the sexual compatibility or whatever. So it's definitely that. And because like I stated earlier, it's easy to be and say you in love, say I love you and to fall in love, but you have to continue to be in love. You have to keep the spark going, keep the flame going, as they say. So in order to do that, you have to communicate what's going on in your relationship. So those, I believe those are the key the 3 key elements in my, with me anyway, personally. But everybody else have their own thing of what love is, because and it's based off of their experience of what they went through, or even on what they want in a relationship. So,
right.
Yeah.
All right, well, sure. I feel you, man. We agree to disagree on that one, man. My 2 is companionship and sexual compatibility. I'm sticking to my guns on those, because that's what the love had came from in the first place. I know you're talking about all the other stuff, the communication, the trust, and the honesty, like all of that stuff comes after. Like people normally fall in love pretty quickly.
Companionship comes from communication, though. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but communication comes from companionship. Why would you, without communication, you wouldn't have companionship, right? Exactly. Bam. I'm just saying.
We gotta get up out of here, man. It's time us to get out of here because she's about to go ham. We're gonna continue this off air. But I want to thank everybody who checked us out today on eblockradio.com. Also, make sure that you hit up our other network, www.neworleanstalknetwork.com, and you can catch the replay on Wednesday at 5 and Thursday at 9. Both of those are Central Standard Time. But we'll be back next week with another amazing topic. And we up out of here, though, man. It's your boy, the Hood Howard Stern, Q Lewis.
And it's your girl, CoCo J. Happy 4th of July. Have a safe and blessed weekend.
For sure, man. Peace out, y'all.